Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm officially welcoming you to my first course. And obviously, it is a free course. So I'm offering a free course about an entry-level cybersecurity course, which will give you everything about cybersecurity. I'm not saying that you will master everything about cybersecurity from this single course, but I wanna tell that you will have a solid foundation in cybersecurity. After completing this course, you can select whatever you want to take. Like you want to do job in offensive side or defensive side. That depends on you, but it will make a solid foundation. I will share the course module later, but first of all, I'm welcoming you to the first video of this course. So today I will talk about cybersecurity foundations and the mind map, how the cybersecurity works, what are the domains of cybersecurity, and much more. I will also teach you in this course Python from scratch to making tools for automation. I will also teach bash scripting for making some small automation tools, which will help you and reduce or save your much time actually. And also, I wanna say sorry because I'm not a native English speaker. So for that reason, I may made much mistakes while I'm talking in English. But I hope I will fix these things whenever the time goes. Whatever, let's focus on our lesson. But before that, I want to introduce myself officially. So my name is Muktasim for first of all. And if I have to say something from my experience, what I do actually, so I'm a web application penetration tester, and I'm also someone who recently started Web3 security auditing. So I love everything about Web3 security. So I will share everything about Web3 in my LinkedIn. You can follow in my LinkedIn to know more about Web3 security. So also I'm someone who is cybersecurity instructor. So I'm a cybersecurity instructor, or I can say lead cybersecurity instructor in Tensor Security Academy, which is a US-based startup who actually teach you about cybersecurity from the scratch, which will help you to land a job in defensive side mostly. Because I'm not the only one who actually works as an instructor in Tensor. There are more instructors who actually works in Tensor, who have experience in defensive security. I will make the foundation. I will make the foundation of offensive security. So you may confuse what is offensive security, what is defensive security. You don't have to be confused because I will explain all of these things in some moment. Just wait. So I'm a lead cyber security instructor at the right Tensor Security Academy. So before going further, I want to tell something. Okay, which is Tensor Security Academy is operation not only specified in USA, it have also operations in Australia, Brazil, and Malaysia. So we are spreading our business more and more. So I have an offer for you who will watch my video, who will watch my whole series. I mean, I'm just specifying, or I'm talking about my course or this class. Whoever watching the videos, who will do all the task, I will. I have something to offer that you will get many helps from Tensor Security Academy, and you will get official certificate or recommendation from Tensor Security Academy as well. From my perspective, or from my side, I can do that initially, but what will happen in the future, I don't know. Maybe you will get opportunity more. It depends on you, what performance you can give, what the things or abilities you can show me. Okay. Okay. And more one thing I have to say, which is something about LinkedIn. Okay. Well, wait a minute, just wait some moment before I go. So first of all, wait a minute. Okay. I'm sharing my screen again. So as you can see, this is LinkedIn. So whoever watching the videos, many of you may have don't modify your LinkedIn profile. So first step is create a LinkedIn account, optimize it, make it professional. If you don't want to share your original photo in LinkedIn, it's okay, but don't upload any photos like someone hacker who is wearing a mask. That's not professional actually. So in that case, you can uh, upload videos about someone else, like some professional black hackers was exist in the land or in the earth. They are no more. You can upload their photos, but don't upload like someone wearing a mask. So don't upload these types of photos in the profile. This is a humble request because that's not professional. This is unprofessional. And obviously, update the bio. So you are someone who is learning cybersecurity. You can say that cybersecurity enthusiast, or you can say that, for example, you want to land a job about cybersecurity engineer. So you can have future cybersecurity engineer. You can do that, and I will suggest you some free courses that you have to do. So on that case, I will just give you some instruction. Just you have to follow my instruction. If you can follow my instruction, I will help you everything from my side. Okay. Because I'm not someone that who will teach you everything basic to advanced. I will just guide you. I'm someone who will guide you, and I will say that you have to do this course. I will provide a URL. Just you have to follow my instruction. Okay, very good. And you can see, that's my experience, and that's many certifications, and many more certifications are loading as well. So don't worry about it. I will say that I will give you instruction. I will guide you what you have to do actually. So now I guess we can start our learning for today, which is learning about cybersecurity. So let's say, okay, this one. Okay, let's see. Mhm. It will take some time, so wait. So let's begin the journey of cybersecurity. And one more thing, which is I make I actually made this slide using my personal note. So that's why also I made this note using Notebook LLM by Google. So I'm not offering something from a greater uh, organization. I'm running this course by myself. This is my personal project. You can say that. So I don't have enough time for making slides manually. So don't get me wrong that I'm just making the slides using Google LLM. That's not professional because I'm making it because I don't have enough time for manually making it. I don't have designers, and that's why I'm just making it using some AI tools. Okay, let's start the journey of cybersecurity. You will learn more about it. So first of all, you have to know what is the difference between information and data. So whenever I'm talking about data, anything can be data as well. For example, I said that I have a computer. It can be data. I said I am. Just I said I am. That doesn't make any sense. It is just incomplete sentence, but it is still a data. Data means anything raw input. Anything raw input which is not organized. Facts. Even it doesn't make any sense. It is not making any context. This is called data. But what is information? Information means something which is organized, something which have meanings, something I can understand that what actually trying to tell me. Okay. For example, I said that I have a computer. Okay, fine. So you can understand that I'm trying to say that I'm saying I have a computer. And it is a meaningful text. It is making some sense. It is making some context. The context is about computer and I'm owning the computer, right? So this is meaningful data. So information and data have huge difference. So you can say all informations are data, but all data are not information. because information means organized data. So that's the difference between data and information. But why I have to know the difference between information and data? Because in the domain of cyber security, I have to protect something called information. Okay, so whenever I'm talking about information, there will be a term called information security, and there's another term called cyber security. So many people just get confused. What is the difference between information security and cyber security? What is the actual meaning of information security? So that's why, first of all, you have to understand between data and information. So, first of all, why I have to know about data? Because, first of all, whenever I'm talking about data, is I'm uploading the video. I will upload the video in YouTube. You will watch the video from the YouTube. Why you can watch the video? Because there is something called there is something happening, which is the communication, or I can say that there is some kind of data which is binary data that transferring between us. So this is everything about networking actually, but you don't have to understand right now. But you have to understand between data and information. Okay. So let's talk about something which is information security, the foundation of freedom. So what is information security? First of all, there is a definition which is the process of protecting information from unauthorized access, misuse, disclosure, modification, or destruction. So information security is, first of all, information is something which is sensitive. I have to protect always. For example, let's say you have some personal data which can be phone number, email, your personal address, blah blah blah. So these are not kind of data which should be published. It is sensitive data for you. It is very very sensitive for you. If you are very very concerned about your privacy, you should not make these data public. So the information security talks about that this is the process of protecting this kind of information from unauthorized access. Unauthorized access means, for example, I have a Facebook account. My Facebook account is only authorized to me. That means only I can access my personal account. But if someone else can access my account, for example, who should not be get access to my account, this is called unauthorized access. Then misuse. He can misuse my data. For example, he can upload my data to any third-party website. Then disclosure means publish the data. Then modification, he's tried to modify my data, or destruction or delete my data. So I have to concern about this is actually the formal definition of information security. But security equals to freedom. That's one another thing we should be know about, which is having control over your information ensures freedom from exploitation. Protect information is an asset. There is more term came here, which is personal asset. So asset is something which have to be protected. For example, my information, my data is an asset because these have to get protected. Okay. So let's talk about some history about it, which is history inside. During the World War II, there was a machine, which is Enigma machine, which was used by German. So this is a machine which were used for encryption. You don't have to understand what is encryption is right now, because I will explain about encryption in upcoming sessions. But you have to say that encryption is something which is the process of making the data unreadable. That means even someone gets my data can't understand any single text. So this is just trash data, which is actually just I can't use because I can actually understand what the data is trying to say. So on that time, Enigma machine actually used to encrypt the data. That Enigma machine used for something. For example, I want to send a data. For example, I am writing. I am right now. Um, I'm in my room. I want to send it out to my friend who is in a different country. Let's say. So on that time, I'm sending a message to him using WhatsApp or any other social media platform. So on that case, if someone else or third person fetch the data, which is the communication between us, he can read this. On that time, I have to encrypt the data so that the privacy maintains between us. Only me and my friend can understand what is the communication happening between us. So the Enigma machine was something like this one, because Enigma machine maintained the cryptography or encryption. So we'll learn about it in encryption cryptography in the more lesson, but don't worry. But Enigma machine maintained the German Enigma machine encryption highlighted that the network secrecy is the foundation of modern cybersecurity. So you can search about Enigma machine in Google. You will know more about it. Okay. Let's talk about threat right now. So threat is something. Uh, from the threat, I want to protect my asset. In a simple word, I want to protect my asset from threat. So, what is the example of threat? For example, I ordered a pizza. So, I ordered a pizza so that only I can eat the pizza. So, right now, my brother, my sister is a threat for me because they may eat my pizza. So, this is a formal definition of threat, or in easy word. But what is the formal definition is I can say that information security employs tools and policies to secure data against four primary security threats. So there are four types of threats exist: inadvertent threats, then physical disasters, then technical failures, and final deliberate acts. First of all, inadvertent threats is human errors, mistakes, or negligence. So this can be happen. We can drop it or forgive about it. Then we have physical disasters like natural events like earthquakes, floods, and fires. Then technical failures like somehow for example, there is a server of Google. So for some hardware software malfunctions, um, server stopped working. So this is an example of technical failures. Final one can be forgivable, which is deliberate acts. Deliberate acts is hacking, espionage. Espionage means spying on someone online. Then cybercrime and social issues like cyber stalking. So these are not forgivable. These are unforgivable. So these that's the threat actually we have to be concerned about. So and I have to protect my asset from this type of threat. I guess you got it. Then special domains like IoT, Internet of Things, security are evolving to meet these challenges. Okay, okay, fine. So here is one thing which is I want to know what is the huge difference. I know there is a difference between information security and cyber security, but what is the difference between information security and cyber security? And I have seen many people that they are saying to their juniors that information security and cyber security are same. But I want to tell them information security and cyber security not same. They have huge difference. Information security talks about the information like there is a server room. There I am talking about in big organization. For example, I do a job in that big organization. So I am someone who is responsible for the information security. So I have to secure the information. What can be the information? This information can be email, phone number of customers. These are something which is very very sensitive data. So I have to secure these type of data. So what is my role as an information security professional? I have to secure information. In very simple word, I have to secure information. So, but what I can say in the sense of cyber security. So my goal is to maintain trust in the digital ecosystem, secure communication, transaction storage, and scope is protection of the cyberspace design environment, including network, server, and applications. And key distinction, unlike general infosec, cybersecurity focuses specifically on digital threats and intentional cyber attacks rather than physical security or accidental administrative errors. First of all, cybersecurity is a small thing under the information security. And information security talks about the information I have to protect, but cybersecurity don't only talk about the information. It rather focus on online type of attacks, not the physical type of attacks. Okay, I hope you got it. But even if you have more confusion about it, I will always say do Google. Google is something that can change your life. Google will teach you everything, but you have to know how to use Google. I will teach you that you can use Google. Okay, fine. Let's move forward. There is something CIA tried. I have to know about it because if I have to maintain uh, the objectives of security, I have to know about CIA tried. CIA tried means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Firstly, confidentiality. The goal of confidentiality is ensure data is accessible only to authorized individuals. That means if I have a Facebook account, only I can access my account. No third-party users, no one else can access my account. What is the methods for maintaining the confidentiality? The methods are encryption. Encryption, as I said already, encryption is a process of making my data unreadable. So I use some kinds of algorithm and keys for maintaining the encryption. So what is first of all algorithm? Algorithm is something which is called doing a task or solving a problem step by step. So many researchers make many kinds of algorithm. Many scientists make many algorithms. Like for making game, I have to use one type algorithm. For communication, I have to use another type of algorithm. Everywhere we use algorithm. So for example, in the encryption process, in the confidential process, or I can say in the process of confidentiality, they use AES and RSA and algorithm. These are the name of the algorithm. Then access control, MFA biometrics. They're accessing the controls. That means only the privileged user can access the control. So they maintain the access control using multi-factor authentication and biometrics means fingerprinting, and final data labeling. And secondly, we have integrity. The goal of integrity is ensures data is accurate. Means the data is not tampered or destroyed somehow. No modification of data can happen, because if I want to maintain the integrity, I have to assure that the data is not modified, the data is accurate, consistent, and free from unauthorized modification. The methods for integrity is hashing. So this is a type of actually what you can say cryptography or encryption. So I will talk about it when I will teach you the cryptography. I will talk about it. What is hashing? What is then we have checksums and digital signatures. Okay. What is digital signatures actually? So every digital asset have a digital signatures. For example, if you uploaded photo in Facebook, it have a digital signature. So server doesn't understand what your photo is. The server understand what is your digital signature. Then we have availability. Availability, the goal of availability is just simple, which is whenever the user wants his data, he just he have to get the data. Means ensure systems and data are available when needed. So 24/7 the data should be available to the user. The methods for gaining the availability is firewalls. So firewalls are something which is the wall between the user, the malicious actor, and the server, which actually follows some rules. Then we have DDoS protection, redundancy, load balancing. So what is actually DDoS? So DDoS actually just DDoS is a kind of attack, cyber attack, which is the process is simple. If I'm a malicious actor, I will just send some fake traffic to the specific website. So if the server is not quite secure, the website will go down due to DDoS. And if the DDoS protection is maintained, nothing will happen. Okay. The redundancy and load balancing. Load balancing means the quite simple. The idea is instead of one server, I have multiple server. Okay. So if one server goes down, the request will be processed using another server. So load balancing works like this one. Okay. I hope you understand. Then we have more two things. The architecture of trust. Security is not just about locking doors. It's about proving who holds the key and recording who opened the door. So there are two things. First of all, one thing is authentication, and second one is non-repudiation. So first of all, authentication is confirms the identity of users and systems before gaining access. So before gaining the access, I have to confirm what is the identity of users. Okay. Tools like digital certificate, password, and tokens verifies the user. Then non-repudiation means ensure that neither the sender nor receiver can deny their participation in a communication. So both have to be assured that they have participated in the communication. The implementation is digital signatures and secure audit trails. I hope you got it. Demystifying hacking. Okay, okay. Let's talk about some history of hacking. So first of all, what is the definition of hacking? The definition of hacking is simple. Hacking is simply exploring and exploiting weaknesses in systems or networks to gain access or control. So I can understand what is the definition. Let's understand in very easy term. Okay. So hacking is just simply exploring and exploring weaknesses. So if I have to hack something, first of all, there have to be some kind of weaknesses. Without having any weaknesses, I can hack the system. So I have to first explore total system. Then I have to find what are the weaknesses which can be exploited. Exploit means the piece of code which will be used for hacking the system or network. Okay. So first of all, the hacking term appeared in 1960 in MIT. The term hacker origin referred to skilled programmers and technology enthusiasts, not criminals. And but reality check says that I mean even my parents said that if I start hacking, if I start learning hacking, the police will capture me and send me to the jail. That's all about everyone says. Even the media also says that hacking is illegal, hacking should not be done. So, am I? We are doing joke, I guess. I mean, according to their opinion, according to what they say, actually, we are some kind of criminals. Let's talk about the real age hack is not all hackers are criminals. While media portrays hacking is as negative, ethical hacking is a legitimate legal profession. There are uh, many domains in cybersecurity. We will talk about it. You can't learn every or you can't do every job every domains in the cybersecurity because there are huge amount of domains. Just you have to select a specific domain. Okay, okay. Let's talk about the kind types of hacker. There are three types of hacker exist: white, black, and gray. White is someone who use his skill to secure system, secure network, secure organization. He helps to fix vulnerabilities. So you don't have to understand what is vulnerability. Vulnerability is just the weakness. Based on the weakness, I actually hack the system. Okay. Then black means is the villain who actually just is malicious attackers. He exploits systems for personal financial gain. He do data theft, ransomware, espionage. And gray hat, in simple term, he's someone who just hack for his fun. He's not black, he's not white. He's someone in the middle. So may find vulnerabilities without permission but reports terms for recognition rewards rather than malicious use. So that's great. Okay. Let's talk about information warfare. Okay. Once upon a time, we faced two great war in the world, World War One and World War Two. If World War Three starts, we will face mostly the cyber war. This is not something that will happen offline by doing, say, sending some missiles or any kinds of attacks. It will happen online via computer. Hackers will use their skills to hack other nations' system networks, try to steal the information and selling the information or publishing the information in the dark web. Okay. So this is the traditionally involved espionage. This is also some kind of spying online. now conducted via digital means cyber warfare. Contested nations invest heavily in cyber defense systems for political manipulation and national defense. You don't have to understand these terms, but what is the new era? You have to understand it. If, for example, right now it is 2026, if something happens like new war starts, like World War III starts, the war will happen online. This is called cyber war. One nation will attack other nation system. One nation will try to steal other nations' information, sensitive information like defense information, national information, and they will eventually publish the information in dark web. That's very very horrific. But we have to get ready for the upcoming disasters that we will face actually. Okay. Okay, what is the need of cybersecurity professionals? In every 39 seconds, a cyber attack is happening worldwide. And the average data breach cost is 150 million is happening for the data breach. And every year, we are spending, or companies spending $2 trillion in cybersecurity. And still, we are missing, right now, we are still missing 1 million plus hackers. Shortage. This is the shortage of cybersecurity professionals. This is just this is the need in one country. But what about the worldwide country? We need more and more hackers who will help us to secure the system, secure the internet. Okay, so that's why we should learn it. Okay, then we have something called what is ethical hacker. In simple term, ethical hacker is white hacker who uses his skills to find the vulnerabilities, secure the system. A legal form of hacking done to identify potential security vulnerabilities before malicious hackers exploit them. So, what is the mission? So, one kind of, I can say that one example of ethical hacker is penetration testing. You don't have to understand what is penetration testing, I will explain it. The mission is simulate attacks to standard defenses, perform penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, and risk analysis, implement countermeasures to fix flaws, and standards is authorized, certified, and bound by strong ethical legal boundaries. Okay. The salary comparison, you can see the salary comparison. Don't you have to know about India? I was searching about India. I got this one because my note included that. But let's talk about international because I will say that you should focus on international. Okay. So internationals are annually 2000 2 lakhs or 250k dollars per year. This is the annual. This is the expert level, and entry level is $80,000 per year. The common job roles are penetration tester, stock analyst, vulnerability analyst, malware analyst, security consultant. I will explain everything, but there are some toolkits. You don't have to understand what are the toolkits, but I will say what you have to learn. Okay. Then we have to understand some the terms actually, which is first of all vulnerability. This is the weakness that can be exploited. Then secondly, threat. Entity exploiting a vulnerability. This is the entity exploiting the vulnerability. Risk is the impact or damage resulting from exploitation. Then we have zero day. Zero day means one undiscovered vulnerability not yet patched. This is some kind of vulnerability that is unknown by anyone, just by the hackers who just found it. This is called zero day. Then exploit, this is the code or method for to trigger a vulnerability. Then penetration testing is authorized attack simulation. This is the authorized attack simulation, which have some, well, for example, we have full permission of attacking on someone. This is called penetration testing. It includes many steps though. Script kiddie, this is inexperienced hacker using pre-built tools. That means he don't have actual skill. He will just say that to give me a tool, I will use the tool to hack. He doesn't have any real skill. Cyber espionage means spying to steal confidential data, and SID is something I have to protect. This is a valuable resource being protected. I hope you got it. If any confusion still, you can ask me. But before closing, I want to show something more, which is, let's say I will start a wait a minute, just okay, a mind map. And actually I was studying for IELTS, and I'm recording your video right now. I'm quite busy for some days, whatever the thing is. And also, I was practicing my C language because I forgotten many things about it. So I was just making some little problems. So whatever. Make a mind map maker online, mind map maker online. So we will make a mind map. So let's see. Let's see without registration if we can use any. Maybe this one I have used in the past. Maybe I don't memorize though. But let's say. Oh, I can. Okay. I guess this one will work because. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just register my account first of all. Okay. So we're starting the cybersecurity, right? So we are gonna start cybersecurity. So cybersecurity have two kinds of things. One is offensive side, one is defensive side. So first of all, one is offensive and another one is actually defensive. If you love attacking, I mean, if you love to do attack like a real hacker, you should go for offensive security. If you love to do like protecting system, you should go for defensive security. If you love offensive security, you will experience or you will introduce a kind of field which is called red teaming. If you love defensive security, you will be introduced with blue teaming. The red teaming deals with attacking, and blue teaming deals with protecting the system. Okay, so let's connect them actually. Wait a minute. Okay, let's have it. So it is red teaming. Okay, so I guess we should connect it. Sorry. And also, let's say, so as you can see, that's the side. And also we have defensive security. And from the defensive security, we have one other thing, right? Which is blue teaming. And from the blue teaming, we will have many more career options. For example, from red teaming, we will face something called penetration testing. From the blue teaming, we will face something called SOC analyst, right? You have seen some rules here. Let's say SOC analyst, vulnerability analyst, malware analyst, security analyst. If you see any word analyst means it is the role or is the kind of job which is done or which actually happens in the blue teaming, not in red teaming. All kinds of penetration testing happens in red teaming, all kinds of analysts or security, let's say, we'll say cyber security analyst, so or say it, cloud security. Security or analyst word actually means it is a blue teaming kind of sector. So red teaming doesn't mean that it is a specific someone. I'm not specifying a specific someone. It is a whole domain. Under red teaming there are multiple domains. Under blue teaming there are multiple domains. You will explore more about red teaming, blue teaming, but there's another term which is purple teaming. Purple teaming means someone who have experience in red teaming, blue teaming both. He know about both. So this is called purple teaming. But you will explore more about cybersecurity in the upcoming lessons. So our courses focus on entry-level red teaming. That means you will learn about penetration testing. This is the entry-level role. My course will uh, make you a intermediate level penetration tester, but it will take time. At least I will say that you have to give 1 year in this course, and after that you will be ready. But if you are very passionate, you can reduce the time on that sense. I can decrease the amount of class, and I will say that just you should follow that resource. I will give you the idea, and you have to just follow my instruction. I hope you got it. So that's the end of the session for today. The session was not quite big, but I hope that's fine. Whatever. So that's the end of the lesson for today. I will see you in the next session. Thank you. And the next session starting with the Linux. Or you have to learn about Linux as a cybersecurity professionals. Okay. See you in the next session. Bye.